All right, it is the next morning. I fed the duck. She don't go in the chicken coop anymore, so ever since she was able to fly the coop, she's like, I'm staying over here by the pond. So I might have to figure out a way to make her a floating house before it gets too cold. Maybe she'll go in when it gets colder. Ducks can handle it better than chickens can. Anyways, so I fed the cats, I fed the chickens last night. So they'll scratch and find what I fed them last night. This morning, fed the duck. Now I'm gonna go feed the goats. We're taking a trip to Kansas City, actually Atchison, Kansas, to return my big truck. So we're not releasing the chickens or the goats today because we're probably not going to be back. Well, it's an 8-hour trip, round trip. So, but anyway, so this is like my little feeding house. I got the chicken feed here, and I got the goat food here. So let's see if this Dunkin' Donuts one's bigger. Looks like it is. I'll use it. Yeah, maybe I'll give them both. So I collect all these scoopers because they don't exactly last very long, but I'll come back and put the lids on since I'm videotaping. But any potential scooper, like plastic cups and whatnot, I save for this purpose and or for watering plants. So I got my storage thingy here where I save bottles and scoopers, and then this is for planters and or potential planters, and this is for tin cans, but my mom's already went through it. This is our scrap metal section. If for some reason I can't pay my mortgage, then that's what this is for. We'll take it down and scrap it. I got a couple months worth of mortgage there. They say you should have 6 months worth of savings, and I've got my IRA and I got my mutual fund and I've got some CDs and stuff. I've got gold and silver. I've got scrap metal. So, and worst case scenario, I even have some ammunition I can sell. But, and then of course we're growing food. We're trying to grow food and raise goats. So I can always sell some of that if I get desperate. But I start a really good job next week. Pays double what I'm making now. And because of the current situation with C-1984, I'm going to try to get my land paid off this next year. Now, of course, it looks like they pushed back the mandate, so we're not going to have to worry about getting the needle right away. Plus, a lot of trucking companies are refusing to mandate that because truck drivers like me will quit. In fact, this company I'm going to work for, that was one of the first questions I asked them, was do they force mandate the thing we're not supposed to talk about? Matt! And they said no. And so I was like, okay, I'm sold. Well, I wasn't totally sold at that time, but Basically, this is Trig. She's our three-legged goat. Get in there and eat, Triggy. Come on, get in there. They like the corn. One of these years I'll grow corn in one of these fields just for goat food and duck food. The duck likes it too. But anyways, I've got lick tubs here for cattle feed. I put the liquid cattle feed in it, and it's diluted with the water, so it's fortified water. I give them that for the winter. And then I got regular lick tubs along the other fence with just regular water in them. And this cat's under my feet. But anyway, I wanted to check on the baby goats, but I don't want to let the other goats out. I'm going to go in this way. So yeah, Thanksgiving is next week. Then I go to work for the new company after Thanksgiving. She can go through. She's like, oh yeah, I could fit through that. So we got totes too for, we got a friend who's got a well. And so we go over there and fetch water, and this is how we've been watering them when we first started out. This one looks like it needs to be fixed. It looks like it's moving on us. But it's still got a lot of water in it. This one actually just feeds that little deal there. And since we got babies, probably should fill that up since the babies can't get to the regular lick tubs. They're too tall. So yeah, fill that up, then they can drink that. And then they get a little bigger, they can drink out of the lick tubs, but the lick tubs ain't totally full of water yet, so. I think I got a short one down there they can get to. But that's what these totes are for. Oh, the water's not as high as I thought it was, just down here. So yeah, we'll have to fix this pallet stack. Next, once this water's empty. And then I'll go fill it up again. Meow. Crazy cats. Yeah, it doesn't fill up as fast since it's low now. But got about 400 gallons left in there. I don't know how many gallons that thing takes. That was like a little koi pond thingy that my uncle gave me. I guess his wife, my aunt, she's not very cool, but anyways, she wanted a koi pond, but that's not very big for a koi pond. Anyways, he had 2 of these, but they had holes in the bottom, which I didn't know. I guess he might have known, but I didn't know, and he donated them to me. But they leaked. They still leak, I think. But But anyway, we put the two of them together, and that stopped the leak for a little while and or slowed it down. So with all the muck and stuff underneath at the bottom, keeps it from leaking out as fast. All right, so here's the baby goats. Probably should retrieve that bucket now. There's 3 of them. Four. Looks okay. It's not squished. It's breathing. So that's good. So 3 of them are out running around. That's good. Where's the other 2? They're probably running around too. They're probably down here with the parents. Let's go find out. Okay, yeah, I think they're all here. Cool. Hey, little guy. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's the other one. You're stuck in the pallets. Hey, be nice. Still got their umbilical cords. It's okay, little guy. Guy, girl, whatever you are. Yeah. So 4. And then 5, 6. So they're all here. Probably named that one Spot since he's got a spot on his face. But more than one do, so I guess maybe not. I don't really name the goats. And I don't really want to get too attached to them because some of them are going to be food, if not all of them. All right, cool. Well, they made it this far. They'll probably make it the rest of the way. It's the first week is the most crucial, and especially if it's cold outside, depending on how cold it is, you know. But as time goes on, I'll have better infrastructure and bigger housing. I don't really have a whole lot of help. It's just basically next to none. But so I'm pretty much doing all this on my own. Built that by myself. Well, David helped me with this one. But then I had to do the second layer all by myself. He never helped me with that. He was supposed to, but he never finished the job. I did that goat house pretty much by myself. Cindy helped me a little bit. Cindy and Sarah, because there was a couple times where I needed two hands. I couldn't do it by myself. But that was the only time that anybody helped. Of course, Cindy, she's she lives 5 miles away. She's got her own place and her own thing, but she's willing to come and help. I have to go pick her up, and so I only have her help me with smaller things because she's a small person. She's not a little people like she calls, midgets and other little people, but she's small, like frail, so to speak. Although she did help me with the chicken coop, and she did a real good job doing that, so I gotta give her kudos for that. Shoveling cement and doing the rock and mortar foundation. Basically, I did most of the mixing. She helped, and she did most of the shoveling of the mix into the grooves, and I basically mostly I did the rocks and whatnot. So she pretty much was my assistant, but she did a good job. And with this, basically, I just needed somebody to hold the metal up with on one end so I can make sure it was, level or flush. And that was the only spot that I really needed help with. And so that's where Cindy and Sarah helped me. But otherwise, I did it all by myself. And I'll probably end up doing the next one pretty much by myself. My mom will probably help because she comes down every now and then. But she's about the only help I got, really. All the rest of the people left. David doesn't really do much. And yeah. So it's pretty much just me and the cats. And the goats. So I was doing an off-grid farm and retreat, but everybody who came to stay for the farm stay, work stay, didn't want to work. They just thought they were on vacation. It's like, we're supposed to be prepping for this New World Order crap. How are we going to do that if you're not doing that? But I think they just wanted me to do it while they reap the benefits. It's like, well, I'm an over-the-road truck driver. I'm only home once a week. How can I do all these things that we're supposed to be doing together when I'm only home 1 day a week? So anyways, so I got to pay all the bills and I got to do all the work. So needless to say, we ain't got much done. But oh well. Anyways. David is a little helpful. Like I said, I got to go return my truck today. So David's following me up in his truck. I'd let him take my truck because it's in better shape, but he don't have a license anymore, or I don't think he does. I'm 90% sure it expired this year, and he refuses to renew it. So if he gets in trouble, it's on him, not me. I don't want my trucks getting impounded. I mean, technically, you have the right to travel and drive You don't have to have a license in order to do that under the Constitution or whatever. I don't know the exact rules, regulations, standards, codes, and guidelines that allow you to drive and quote unquote travel, because the law basically says you have the right to travel and they can't interfere with that. They do, they try, but if you know the law, then you can travel without a license. David pretty much knows the law, but he hasn't gotten it down yet. And so it could go either way. Depends on who he's dealing with. So far, he's did pretty good. But like I said, I just can't risk getting my vehicles impounded. So my white truck don't look like much, but it's got a rebuilt transmission, rebuilt rear end. The motor's halfway rebuilt. Just the body looks like crap. But I've had it for like 20 years. Next year will be 20 years. So, yeah, it's a little rundown. Or at least it looks like it is. But it runs great. And my other truck, well, this truck was so good to me. The other truck's 1 year older than my white truck, but it's in better shape. It's got a rebuilt transmission and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, you know, I got two really good trucks. Like I said, this one here don't look like much, but it runs great. It's been one of the best vehicles I ever had. So, I think I'll close this just in case the goats do figure out how to get out, because Cleopatra, she is a Houdini. So, she'll probably figure out how to get out. Anyway, all right, I gotta go. Next video will be of me turning in my truck. And basically I do a before and after video for all my trucks when I get in them and when I get out of them, so that people can't accuse me of doing something I didn't do. But I'm leaving this company on good terms, so everything should be good. I like the company, they just don't take very good care of their equipment. And they could pay a little better, but they're just kind of like, they're not a fly-by-night operation, but they act like a fly-by-night operation. So they just go by this, they fly by the seat of their pants, let's put it that way. And the pay's okay. I'm not necessarily complaining about the pay. It could be better, but I'm able to pay my bills, you know. I'm just not home very much. And so this company will have me home more, have newer, better, maintained equipment. That's the key. I don't care if it's old, as long as it's maintained. And because like the truck I'm driving now is a 2007 Peterbilt. I love it. I don't want to get out of it, to be honest, but you know, the problem is they just don't maintain their equipment, and I gotta fight tooth and nail to get it fixed. I had a bunch of things wrong with the truck and the trailer, the same trailer I'm pulling today too, even. And they didn't want to fix it. And so I was like, all right, fine. Since you guys don't want to fix stuff around here, I decided I'm gonna quit. I'm gonna go find another job. I'll try to stick it out till spring, till the end of cattle feed season, but I can't do this anymore. Boom! Next day or two, they had all my stuff fixed. It's like, why couldn't you do this before I decided to quit? You know, it's like, freaking crap. It's like another company I work for. Prior to this company, prior to tree trimming. Well, I did tree trimming. Then I went to oil field. Then I went to another company. Then I went back to tree trimming. So the company after the oil field, I hired on for a position that was supposed to get me by the house every week. That's what I was advertised. That's what I applied for. That's what I got hired for. Did I get the position? No. 6 months later, after hounding them to death, I finally put in my notice. I was like, I only stuck it out, because, I was making good money, but I had to drive my personal vehicle all the way to St. Louis and back every time I wanted to go home. They wouldn't get me by the house. That's, 5-6 hour drive one way. And almost as bad as me driving to the oil field and back. But when I hired onto the oil field, I knew that was what I had to do. These guys, it was a different subject. They lied to me, screwed me around. So after 6 months of that, I only stayed around long enough to, for my resume, more or less. They ripped me off on my paycheck a couple times, and that was the last straw. I was like, forget this, I'm out of here. So I gave them my notice. Boom. Next week, they have me on a run. Of course, I gave them 1 month notice when I'm in the trucking business. So next week, I was on a different run that took me right by the house every week, just like I hired on for. And it's like, then, like 2 weeks later, because, I put in a month notice, 2 weeks later, they're like, so you still quitting? I'm like, yep. You shouldn't have fucked around. Don't screw me around. I've already told you what I'm doing. This is what I'm doing. Plus, I already gave the other guy my word that I was going to be there in so many days. So why am I going to screw him over? You guys are the ones who screwed me over. So I'm going to, I'm done. I'm out of here. So anyways, this new company, they're supposed to be a lot better. I did a background check on them, did the reviews, all that stuff. Can't hardly find anything bad about them. So we'll see what happens. Cross our fingers. But anyways, I gotta go. Bye.